While he may be up for an Emmy for his work both in front of and behind the camera on the show, Donald Glover's Mr. and Mrs. Smith Season 2 future looks more uncertain with a new cast update. The Prime Video show serves as a TV adaptation of the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie movie of the same name, flipping the formula to be about a male and female spy partnered to work undercover as a married couple, and the emotional connection they form along the way. Co-created and co-led by Glover, Mr. and Mrs. Smith was a smash hit, garnering 16 Emmy nominations. Deadline has brought word that Amazon MGM Studios has cast Mark Adelstein to star in Mr. and Mrs. Smith Season 2 in the leading male role. The publication also reports that the rumors of Billie Eilish being eyed for the lead female role ultimately fell through due to her busy schedule with touring, and are now looking for an actor and actress in their 20s to play the titular roles in a one-year deal. The Anora breakout star's casting further raises uncertainty regarding Glover's return to the lead role, particularly as he will only be back in Season 2 as executive producer rather than co-showrunner. What Adelstein's casting means for Mr. and Mrs. Smith Season 2. Glover's fate is looking more grim. Ever since the cliffhanger Season 1 ending, Glover and co-creator showrunner Francesca Sloan have been very cautious when it comes to sharing information on Mr. and Mrs. Smith Season 2, particularly the fates of Glover's John and Maya Erskine's Jane. After initial reports came out that neither star would be returning, Sloan even acknowledged that writing had not yet begun on the next season, assuring that she and Glover would not want to ruin their cliffhanger ending via news headlines, and as such, certainly left some with hope for the original stars to return. That being said, between Adelstein's casting and some reports indicating that Glover is only on board as an EP, his John's fate is beginning to look more grim heading into Season 2. The Mr. and Mrs. Smith Season 1 ending left both John and Jane in an unclear predicament as they're trapped in the safe room with the former mortally wounded and the latter left with just one bullet to hold off against the other Smiths, only for 3 shots to be seen from outside the building. Considering Season 1 also opened with another Smith couple being killed, Glover and Erskine certainly wouldn't be the first in the show's universe. The other major factor pointing to the possibility of Glover and Erskine's characters being killed off for good after Adelstein's Mr. and Mrs. Smith Season 2 casting is Sloan's history of working on Fargo. The FX show has taken an anthological approach to its various seasons, therefore giving her some familiarity with working on a writing team in which they largely did away with any hanging plot threads from a prior season. Considering Adelstein will be playing a new John, and the search is underway for a new Jane, the original duo is looking less likely to be back. Our take on Adelstein's Mr. and Mrs. Smith Season 2 casting. The cliffhanger shouldn't distract from the young star's performance. Ivan, Mark Adelstein, in a Nora image via Neon. While all eyes will undoubtedly be on whether Glover and Erskine return for the season, I really do hope audiences are willing to look past that and embrace Adelstein's performance in Mr. and Mrs. Smith Season 2. As far as international viewers go, Anora really put the young Russian actor on the map as a star to watch, and much like the complicated romance at the heart of Sean Baker's hit, I think him playing John in Prime Video's show could be one that rivals Glover's fantastic Season 1 performance.